Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the wild roller coaster that is Ginny and Georgia, where murder, mom drama, teen chaos, and small town secrets collide. We'll walk through all the key events from season 1 and 2, just the major plot points you need to remember before the next season drops. So, the show kicks off with Georgia Miller, young, hot, and a mom, moving to Wellsbury, Massachusetts, with her teenage daughter Ginny and little son Austin. Georgia's husband just died in a motorcycle accident, and she's hoping for a fresh start. Right away, Ginny starts school and meets new friends, Maxine, Abby, and Nora, who form a little clique called MANG. Max's brother Marcus also lives next door, and Ginny clearly notices him. Meanwhile, Georgia's hiding a shady past. She quickly charms the town mayor, Paul, and lands a job in his office. By the end of the episode, we find out Georgia might have had something to do with her late husband's death. He drank a smoothie she made right before he died. Suspicious? Very. Ginny tries to fit in with the new group and starts dating Hunter, a guy from school. Georgia is adjusting too, making herself useful at the mayor's office. Flashbacks show Georgia's rough upbringing and how she's been surviving through manipulation and charm for years. At school, Ginny starts feeling pressure to match everyone's polished look and behavior. She also begins secretly hanging out with Marcus. Georgia steals some files from the mayor's office and finds out that her dead husband's ex wants to investigate his finances. To cover her tracks, Georgia burns the documents. Georgia continues cozying up to Mayor Paul and gets serious about keeping her past buried. Ginny has her first sleepover with the Mang girls, and things get awkward when the topic of race comes up. She feels like an outsider but plays along. Austin's having problems too. He brings a gun to school, claiming he's being bullied. Turns out he's also been sending letters to his dad, who's actually in jail. Georgia, not wanting her past to catch up, forges a response to make Austin think his dad is writing back. Georgia throws a campaign fundraiser to boost Mayor Paul's image, and her own. She's really blending into the town. Ginny joins the school paper and writes a strong piece that annoys the administration. Marcus crashes his bike and ends up hurt. Ginny visits him secretly and they share a moment, but she's still officially dating Hunter. Meanwhile, Georgia has a run-in with a private investigator named Cordova, who's snooping around about her ex-husband's death. He's not buying the accident story. Ginny and Hunter's relationship gets more serious. There's a school talent show where everyone performs. Ginny and Hunter do a song together, and Marcus gets jealous. Georgia's dealing with money issues and scams her way into taking over her dead husband's company's funds. The private investigator keeps digging into Georgia's past. He learns that her first husband mysteriously died too. Georgia finds out and panics. To throw him off, she starts planning a surprise wedding for Mayor Paul, even though they're not engaged yet. Ginny gets grounded, but still sneaks out to hook up with Marcus. The love triangle is heating up. Georgia's past catches up again when her sister-in-law Cynthia accuses her of hiding money from her dead husband's estate. Georgia gets revenge by sneaking into Cynthia's house and framing her husband with drugs. It works. He gets arrested, and Georgia buys herself more time. Meanwhile, Ginny finds out more about her mom's shady history and starts questioning everything. Things are unraveling. Ginny breaks up with Hunter and makes out with Marcus. Mang finds out and freaks out on her, especially Max since Marcus is her brother. Georgia's fake wedding plan goes ahead, and Mayor Paul proposes for real. The private investigator learns about Georgia's real name. She's been using aliases and more details about her troubled childhood. Ginny also finds out her mom was married when she was just 15 and killed that husband too. Georgia reveals she did it to protect herself and Ginny from abuse. In the final stretch of the season, everything crashes. Ginny finds out Georgia really killed her stepdad and buried the body under the porch of their old house. She's horrified and doesn't know what to believe anymore. Georgia is riding high. She gets engaged to Mayor Paul, has a glamorous town hall event, and even avoids arrest when Cordova fails to find proof of her crimes. But Ginny is done. She secretly grabs Austin, packs a bag, and they ride off on a motorcycle, leaving Georgia behind. Season 1 ends with Georgia celebrating her engagement, clueless that her daughter just ran away, and her past might finally be catching up to her. And that's everything that went down in Ginny and Georgia Season 1. Murder, lies, secrets, and a whole lot of drama. If you're enjoying the recap so far, go ahead and give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. Alright, let's jump into Season 2, because things only get messier from here. Season 2 picks up right after Ginny and Austin run away. They're staying with Ginny's dad, Zion, in Boston. Ginny's having a mental breakdown after learning Georgia killed her ex-husband Kenny. She's trying to process it all and start self-harming again. Georgia's back in Wellsbury pretending everything is normal. She's planning her wedding to Mayor Paul, but he has no idea what's really going on. Ginny goes to therapy and slowly opens up about her mental health struggles. She agrees to move back home to avoid being sent to live with her dad permanently. When she gets back to school, things are awkward. Mang is still mad, especially Max, and Ginny tries to lay low. Marcus is acting distant, even though he and Ginny are still hooking up. Georgia finds out Ginny knows about Kenny, and things get tense. Paul starts digging into Georgia's past because he senses she's hiding something. Paul confronts Georgia about all the lies, fake names, missing money, suspicious history, but she spins it and says it was all to protect her kids. He doesn't buy it completely, but still wants to make it work. At school, Ginny and Marcus start getting closer again, and they make their relationship official. Ginny's still in therapy, trying to sort her head out. Meanwhile, Georgia is being blackmailed by Gil, Austin's dad, who just got out of prison. He wants money and threatens to expose her. Ginny tries to be a better daughter and takes care of Austin more, but Georgia's keeping secrets as usual. Max finally forgives Ginny, so Mang is back on. Abby, though, is secretly struggling with body image and feels left out. Georgia gets more stressed with Gil around and considers running again. She also has to convince Paul to let her be Austin's legal guardian since Gil's pushing for custody. At the same time, Joe, Georgia's old friend and crush, is still lurking in the background, clearly not over her. Georgia confesses a bit of her past to Paul, but leaves out all the deadly parts. He proposes again, and this time she says yes. Ginny's trying to juggle school, therapy, and her relationship with Marcus, but Marcus is spiraling into depression. Meanwhile, Cynthia's husband is still in a coma, and Georgia feels guilty. Ginny starts suspecting her mom had something to do with it, especially since Austin was there the night Tom died. Cordova, the PI, is still snooping around Georgia's past and won't let go. Marcus's depression gets worse, and Ginny doesn't know how to help. She leans on her dad, Zion, for support. Georgia's ex, Gil, keeps manipulating Austin and even shows up at the school. Georgia tries to take control by using dirt she has on him. He assaulted someone in jail. Georgia finds out that Cordova is getting close to proving she murdered Kenny. She panics but keeps smiling for the town, especially now that she's planning a big wedding. Meanwhile, Joe gets jealous of Paul and tells Georgia how he really feels, but she brushes him off. Ginny breaks up with Marcus to give him space to heal, even though she still cares about him. Georgia finds out Gil has been watching her house and confronts him violently, threatening him with a gun. Cordova shows up at Georgia's house, hinting that he knows about Kenny's murder, but he still doesn't have enough evidence. Georgia's feeling the pressure from all sides, but pretends everything's fine. Classic Georgia move. Ginny starts getting close to her mom again, even though she doesn't trust her fully. Georgia gets a surprise visit from Gil, who's threatening her again. He wants access to Austin, and still believes he can intimidate her. Georgia doesn't back down. She goes to Paul and finally tells him about Gil's abusive past and how dangerous he really is. Paul is shocked but agrees to help her protect Austin. Elsewhere, Joe and Cynthia get closer, especially as Cynthia deals with her husband Tom being in a coma. Georgia sees them together and starts feeling a little threatened. She wants to be the queen of the town, after all. Georgia is planning the perfect fairy tale ceremony with Paul, while hiding 100 things from him. But things hit a new level when Gil shows up at the house, unannounced, and gets physical with her in front of Austin. In a panic, Georgia grabs a gun, but before she can do anything, Austin shoots Gil in the arm. Georgia rushes to cover it up, telling him to keep quiet and then calling Zion for help. They convince Gil not to press charges by threatening to expose the assault charges that landed him in jail in the first place. Meanwhile, Marcus breaks up with Ginny. He tells her he loves her, but he needs to focus on his mental health. Cordova is still on Georgia's tail, and Cynthia's husband Tom is taking a turn for the worse. Georgia pays him a visit, and in a moment of twisted mercy, she smothers him with a pillow, ending his life. What she doesn't know is that Austin saw the whole thing. Again, it's wedding day. Georgia and Paul tie the knot in a beautiful ceremony, and for a brief moment, everything seems perfect. Ginny and Austin are in the wedding party, the guests are happy, and Georgia actually seems like she's going to get her happily ever after. But of course, it doesn't last. Cordova finally gathers enough evidence, not for Kenny's murder, but for Tom's. Right in the middle of the reception, the police arrive and Georgia is arrested for murder. The shock hits everyone. Ginny and Austin watch as their mom is dragged away in handcuffs. Paul is stunned. No one saw it coming, and just like that, Georgia's carefully constructed life in Wellsbury crumbles. Season 2 ends with Georgia in custody, the fairy tale shattered, and Ginny left wondering who her mom really is and what comes next. But here's the real question. Is Georgia a protective mother, or just a master manipulator who got caught? Let us know what you think.